Whoever said good things don't come in small packages has obviously never been exposed to the Totem Bison monitor bookshelf speakers. In this video, I'll break down why you might need these in your life and whether the value is there. Let's get to it. Hello friends and welcome back to Audio Arkitekts. I'm Mike, and if you're the kind of person that likes to shop at Ultimate Electronics, then you're in the right place because that's all we talk about here. Make sure to strike that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you'd like to get notified every time a new video comes out, make sure to ring the bell.
Want to ring the bell?
Ding, ding.
Let's address the elephant in the room because many of you are conscious of price, as you should be, and these little speakers aren't exactly considered cheap audio. At $22.50 for the pair, that's an investment. So what we're gonna do here today is take a look at the aesthetics, the build quality, internal design, and of course, sound quality. There's nothing crazy or over the top about the design of the speaker, and honestly, I appreciate that. Sometimes speakers can feel a bit over-designed and end up just missing the mark completely. But with the Bison, you can tell Totem really focused on keeping it just clean and simple while still nailing that all-important wife approval factor. They sent over a pair in this 90s white oak finish, and honestly at first I wasn't too sure about it since I usually prefer my speakers in black, but I have to admit, they've really grown on me. It's such a unique color, especially for modern speaker cabinets, right? And I love the contrast between the dark drivers and the light wood. It's definitely different in a good way. What's really cool about the way the cabinet panels come together is that they used a lock miter assembly with the horizontal bracing, which is a clever way to ensure the build is super solid. I also love the texture of the veneer. I know you can't really tell because you can't feel it, but it feels sturdy and just gives off this luxurious vibe. Overall, it's a great choice for both the cabinet design and the outer look. On the back, there's a small base port, just 30 millimeters, about an inch. Since these are designed in Canada,
This is Canada, eh?
everything's metric. Also, around the back of the speaker, in case you like buy winning,
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
it comes with 4 gold-plated 5-way binding posts, so you can buy amp, buy wire, whatever your heart desires. I love magnetic grills, and I am so glad this speaker came with magnetic grills. There's nothing worse than those plastic pegs on traditional grills where you pull them off at the wrong angle and snap one off. It's just frustrating. Honestly, every speaker brand should be using magnetic grills. I haven't found a good reason not to. The drivers are proprietary, a collaborative effort between Totem and Morel, which is really cool. A lot of companies just pull from an endless shelf of pre-made designs and work around that. I think it's so much better to create your own drivers and build everything around that rather than trying to match a pre-made design to your desired sonic signature. The base driver is 5.12 inches or 130 millimeters for the rest of the world, and the tweeter set on a shallow waveguide is 1.3 inches or 33 millimeters. The crossovers are simple and straightforward because with Totem designing their own drivers, there wasn't a need for all this tweaking and changing things up in the crossover. They went with a 2.5 kilohertz first order crossover, just using the highest quality parts they could find. You could really tell they put thought into choosing what worked best with this specific speaker. Given the size of these speakers, you might think they're made for a desktop setup, and they absolutely can be. Totem's placement recommendations are pretty flexible, with just 6 inches off the rear wall clearance and the cabinet spaced 3 to 5 feet apart, which definitely works for a desktop, but I tried something a little different. I placed them about 6 feet apart with a slight toe in and around a foot from the rear wall. That setup turned out to be perfect for these speakers. I decided to use a system I'm currently reviewing as the source and power for these speakers. The TIAC VRDS 701 CD player, Weem Ultra Streamer, and my custom Eigentakt amplifier. Straight out of the box, the sound was best described as polite. There wasn't a standout sonic characteristic, just a well-balanced, pleasant sound. Honestly, I was a bit disappointed because I was expecting something grandiose from such a small package, something that would make these speakers really shine compared to their peers. But I didn't have to wait long. After a bit of burn-in time, these speakers transformed. It felt like I was listening to a completely different system. The mid-range clarity became just phenomenal, with beautifully smooth detail in the high end, not fatiguing or overwhelming, just crystal clear. The bass was decent, mostly in the mid-bass range. It doesn't drop too low, but as you could tell, they're not huge speakers, but that's fine since they're just rated down to 40 Hertz, and it felt like it hit that mark. If you're after full range sound, you'll need a sub, but I found that with the right positioning, the bass was good enough to offer a great experience on its own. Another benefit of proper placement was the wide dynamic soundstage these speakers delivered. Tracks like Bubbles by Yoshi Horikawa and the classic Everything in Its Right Place by Radiohead sounded incredible on these speakers. I do recommend burning these in for at least 20 to 30 hours at minimum. Speaker burn-in is very important because it allows the components inside, like the drivers and suspension, to loosen up and reach their sweet spot over a bit of time. When speakers are brand new, the materials can be stiff, and this can affect the sound quality, especially in terms of clarity, bass response, and overall balance. By playing them for several hours, typically at a reasonable volume, nothing crazy, the parts settle into place, which leads to a more accurate, natural sound reproduction. What does this mean for you? Well, this process guarantees that you're hearing your speakers at their best, giving you the full experience they're capable of delivering. Remember, I have nothing to gain from pushing speaker burn-in to you. It's something I have discovered over the years and just want to share with you. If you don't believe in it and you don't want to try it, that's perfectly fine too. It's your life, they're your speakers. So, did we get to the level of value I was looking for from this price point? Yes. The sound evaluation was what put them over the top. I think the sound quality matched with the strong enclosure and clean aesthetics were a very nice package, especially considering the size of the speaker itself. I think the right person for these speakers is someone with, let's be honest, a bit of a budget, who enjoys a wide variety of music, has size constraints, and wants something built well enough to last them into the next generation. I think these speakers can easily become a legacy speaker just by how well they were built. Overall, it gets my stamp of approval. I will leave some links down below on where you can find these speakers online. Thanks for visiting with me today and listening to my meandering belligerence. If you're a fan of the channel, I do encourage you to support my efforts by checking out my online t-shirt shop. I'm not wearing one of my t-shirts today, unfortunately. I have several hi-fi inspired designs you might like. Also, I do have a Patreon. That's probably the most direct way to help. Or if you just want to say thanks, you can buy me a coffee down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to ask the like button for money.
I need you to give me like $5, like $20, something like that, because I'm in some trouble.
Subscribe to the channel to help me grow and ring the bell to get notified every time a new video is born. With all that said and done, I'll see you on the next one, friends. Take care.